Hello, wrestling fans! This is Sean's View Entertainment, the most dedicated and prolific WWE news source on the web. Subscribe now for hourly WWE breaking news, hard-hitting rumors, and more. And don't forget to smash that bell for notifications, comment, and share. Are you a true wrestling fanatic? Become a channel member right now to show your support and send us super thanks in the comment section today.
SmackDown, the Blue Brand, the USA Network on a Friday night. What was your moment of the night? What was the angle, the storyline of the night, the mic work of the night, the superstar of the night, perhaps the champion of the night? Most importantly, what was the match of the night on SmackDown tonight? I can't believe it, guys. I've been on YouTube for the better part of over a decade. For the better part of over 10 years, I have been supplying you the rumors, the news, the headlines, the gossip, the speculation, the debate, the hearsay, whatever it may be. And a lot of those videos have revolved and resolved and been talked about and brought up about the greatest of all time, the Never Seen 17, John Cena. A lot of my videos, actually, a lot of my channel was built around, and the reason why my channel got so big was not only because of my viewers, my subscribers, my channel members, because you guys obviously are what that's about, obviously. But because without you, there is no Sean View. That is damn true. But a lot of nights, a lot of days, a lot of weekends, a lot of mornings we would talk about, we would discuss, we would bring up John Cena news. And now, after tomorrow, we'll never, ever be able to do that ever again because John Cena is retiring. Now, yes, John Cena did sign a new deal with the WWE, but it's a deal where he won't be wrestling. He won't be competing. He will not be getting physical. He will be an ambassador for the WWE. And everybody knows the big John Cena fan. And listen, I'm not just the Cena fan from when he was a rapper, the Ruthless Aggression era. No. I was a John Cena fan when he was in FCW, when he was along the likes of a Randy Orton, a Batista, but a Brock Lesnar, when he was coming up in OVW. So I mean, and I just grew an even bigger Cena fan once he actually came to the WWE. And guys, it's hard to put into words. I mean, what can you say that hasn't already been said about John Cena? For everything he represents, for everything he stands for the hustle, the loyalty, the respect, the blood, the sweat, the tears, everything he has put into this. You can say what you want about John Cena, but for all the people that used to boo John Cena and that says, you can't wrestle, and for the fans that said, we don't want to see you anymore, are the same fans that are now sad and shocked and heartbroken that John Cena is actually going to retire tomorrow night on Saturday night's main event on Peacock. Now, we're going to venture more into the John Cena, but guys, your thoughts, your overall review of SmackDown earlier. Was it hot? Was it a scorcher? Was it 5 stars? Was it 4 stars? Was it worth a watch? Was it entertaining? Was it boring? Was it dull? Should there been a lot more to the Blue Brand, the SmackDown tonight, viewers? Should there been more thought process? Should there been more creative into it? And then the announcement went out, viewers. The announcement went out tonight on SmackDown on USA Network, where Monday Night Raw should be, where Raw should be back on the USA Network, but we all know it is not. But ladies and gentlemen, we are now receiving word that SmackDown will indeed go back to 3 hours in 2026. Now, it's not yet known how long it's going to be 3 hours. It could be for several months. It could be several weeks. I'm guessing it's going to be probably for the first 6 months of the year, I'm going to assume. But again, I don't know. And again, if SmackDown's going to go to 3 hours, and, that's all fine and well, but can they keep up? Can they hold up? Can they keep the entertainment? Can they keep the creative? Can they keep everything in sync? Can they keep it stitched up? Can they keep SmackDown lit for 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen? Can they keep it lit for 3 overwhelming hours? Will we be able to be satisfied for 3 hours of SmackDown? Now, SmackDown's been 3 hours before, but SmackDown, some would say, has been mediocre. Some would say that it needs new life. A new breed unleashed for SmackDown. You're seeing the other stars come up. You're seeing the Lash Legends come up. You're seeing the Joanne Evanses come up. You're seeing the Oba Femis come to the main roster. You're seeing a changing of the guard on the blue brand of SmackDown. Now we have asked, we have demanded, we have wanted new superstars, new faces to come onto the show, and that is exactly what SmackDown showcased tonight. So if there's any big takeaways out of SmackDown tonight, it's that the WWE definitely showcased the future, and that you got to give the WWE credit for. Now, that doesn't mean it was a great show. That doesn't mean it was the greatest show. That doesn't mean it was the best SmackDown of the year. Far from it, right, guys? Absolutely far from it. But what this comes down to now, viewers. No, I already fed him. What this, viewers, fans, and subscribers comes down to is this. Is that you got a new year coming up. We are on the road to the Royal Rumble, which will lead right into WrestleMania. And that is where things are going to start intensifying. That is where business is going to pick up. That is where the WWE is going to be on a whole nother level. And right now, the WWE are just trying to patch things together to get us into the Royal... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, viewers. We got a breaking news. Again, this is why we do multiple videos a day. Guys, that's why it's so crucial. And I say this all the time. Please set a reminder on your cell phone, your laptop, your TV, your watch, your PC, whatever it may be, to watch my channel around the clock because I will never stop for you. We got some breaking, startling news coming in right now. It is a scenario, and again, we do break on the rumors, the gossip, the speculation. We talk about it all. It is a scenario that no wrestling fan wanted to imagine. It's the nightmare right before the dream ending. We are literally hours away from WWE Saturday night's main event. The stage is set in Washington, D.C. The opponent, Gunther, is ready. It is billed as the final John Cena match. That final time he will ever compete in a WWE ring ever again. The definitive era of the greatest. The definitive end of the greatest era in modern wrestling. But right now, as I speak into the microphone, the wrestling world is in a panic, a state of absolute panic right now, according to rumors and gossip online. Now, this wouldn't be the first time that something like this has happened before a big event. Because before I get into this, you might remember the night before WrestleMania 19, the incomparable, toughest SOB, the WWE icon, the legend, the Hall of Famer, Stone Cold Steve Austin, almost died the night before WrestleMania 19. Stone Cold Steve Austin was rushed to the hospital the night before he went into one of his final retirement matches with The Rock in 2003 at WrestleMania. Now, a lot of you may not know that, or you may have forgot that, but yes, Stone Cold almost didn't make it to WrestleMania 19. And now rumors are flooding the internet that some from terrified fans, some from breathless tabloids, and again, you can't always trust those tabloids, claiming that John Cena has suffered some sort of a medical emergency. Phrases like mystery illness, rush to hospital, and final match in Jeopardy were trending online for the last several minutes. Now, if you're a John Cena fan, your stomach is in knots right now. Could it really be ending like this, where John Cena may not be able to show up? Could the 20-year retirement tour be derailed by the very last second by his own mortal body giving out? Now, there's no doubt that it is a terrifying thought. But before we hit the panic button and declare it over, we need to take a deep breath here, viewers. We need to look at who we are talking about. We need to look at the medical history of John Cena. Because if history has taught us anything over the last 2 decades, it's this. John Cena does not operate by normal human standards. Today, we are breaking down the anatomy of Super Cena, from breaking necks to silent cancer battles and career-threatening tears. We are going to prove why, despite these terrifying rumors of John Cena being admitted to a hospital or some kind of ER emergency, why you should never, ever bet against the champ making that walk one last time. Let's address the elephant in the room right now. What do we actually know? As of this recording, WWE has not issued an official statement confirming John Cena is out of the match. However, the smoke is thick, and when TMZ-style headlines start using words like mystery illness right before the biggest match of the decade, panic is the natural response. The stakes couldn't be higher. There isn't a random episode. This isn't a random episode of Raw in 2011. There is no next week. There's not another next week for SmackDown for John Cena. If John Cena misses Saturday night's main event, the storybook ending would be ruined forever. Now, we don't know if this is the flu. We don't know if this is food poisoning or something far more serious related to the intense training that John Cena has put into for this final ever farewell tour. but the fear among the fan base is palpable because we all know that Father Time remains undefeated, even for Superman himself, even for the GOAT, John Cena. But to understand why so many insiders believe he will still show up on Saturday night's main event in less than 24 hours, you have to understand the precedent that he has set. The foundation myth of Cena's superhuman toughness begins in August of 2008, SummerSlam. Cena versus Batista. In a freak accident during a powerbomb, John Cena lands awkwardly, his neck compromised and compressed. Most people watching didn't realize the severity because John Cena unbelievably finished the match. But the reality was terrifying. He had suffered a herniated disc that was compressed into his spinal cord during that match with Batista. He stood in the ring 24 hours later and told the world that his neck was broken. The diagnosis from the neurosurgeon, Dr. Joseph Maron, was severe. Surgery was mandatory. The standard human recovery timetable for a fusion of that magnitude is 9 months to a year, maybe longer for an elite athlete to take bumps again. WWE prepared for a year without their top star. And then the 2009 Royal Rumble happened. 3 months. It took John Cena 3 months, not 9, not 12, 3 months to return. 3 months to make a comeback. Doctors were baffled. Doctors went on record stating that John Cena's physical recovery was unlike anything he had ever seen. He didn't just heal, he accelerated time. That was the moment Super Cena stopped being just about his booking and started being about his actual psychology. If a literal broken neck couldn't keep him down for more than a fiscal quarter, what mystery illness could possibly stop John Cena from coming up to the biggest match of his career, the last match? The final time is now for John Cena. We see the casts, we see the neck, we see the braces, but John Cena has faced battles that were much quieter and frankly much scarier than a ring injury. We often forget that the man beyond the character is mortal, and in recent years, Cena has opened up about battles with skin cancer. Yes, John Cena has battled cancer. He revealed that he had a cancerous growth removed twice, one on his shoulder, a spot that Eagle fans noticed on TV years ago. Yes, a spot that eagle-eyed fans. And another on his nose. This wasn't a storyline. This was real world. And yet, quietly dealing with biopsies and the fear of the C word, he maintained the most insane schedule in entertainment history, filming movies, wrestling house shows, granting 650 Make-A-Wishes. He didn't take months off for sympathy. He got patched up and went to work. That shows the mental fortitude that goes beyond physical toughness. And then there is the daily grind. We all know that John Cena is also retiring due to multiple nagging injuries. Multiple nagging injuries that John Cena has been dealing with and going through for the last several years. We are talking about chronic wear and tear, shoulders that barely stay in socket, knees with no cartilage left, a back that was absorbed thousands of impacts that would have sidelined a normal athlete 15 years ago. For that, the baseline pain wasn't a reason to stop. It was just Tuesday. If you listen to the backstage stories from guys like Edge or Randy Orton, the common theme is inhumane reliability despite accumulated damage. The man worked through severe flu bouts where he needed IVs just to walk through the curtain. He has conditioned his body and his mind to simply reflect the idea of calling in sick. Reject. He would always reject calling in sick. Which brings us to right now, the final hours before Saturday night's main event. Never give up. It sounds cheesy on a bright-colored t-shirt, but for John Cena, it's a literal physical doctrine born out of decades of trauma. I don't have Cena's medical charts in front of me right now. It is truly anyone's guess what is happening behind closed doors. It may not even be true about John Cena being admitted to an ER or at a hospital. But John Cena has been in ERs and hospitals, and John Cena has faced surgery before. John Cena has faced insurmountable odds before. Maybe it's a severe illness, maybe an old injury flared up during a warm-up. But knowing what we know about 2008 and everything else John Cena's battled and went through, knowing what we know about his silent battles, knowing that he built his entire life around hustle, loyalty, and respect, and never giving up, do you really believe that he will walk through that curtain on Saturday night's main event? If John Cena has to be taped together like a mummy, he will be there. If they have to wheel him down to the gorilla position on a gurney and inject him with adrenaline, he will be there. This man returned from a broken neck to save WrestleMania. He is not going to miss his own retirement party, because of a last-minute health scare. The old wrestling adage is, if you can walk, you can work. John Cena took that to the extreme. Even if I can't walk, I'll figure out a way to work. The only thing that stops John Cena making this match is if he is physically incapable of drawing breath. And even then, I'd give him 50-50 odds of kicking out at 2. The anxiety we are feeling right now is natural. We love our heroes, and we have to see them fall before the finish line. We hate to see them fall before the finish line. But take heart in history, viewers. John Cena's greatest superpower wasn't his strength or his mic skills. It was his absolute unwavering dependability. And that is what John Cena will always be known for, was his dependability. Whatever is happening right now, whatever the pain he is in, I believe he is pushing it down, lacing up his boots, and preparing to give us everything he has left. Because that's what Superman does. What do you guys think? Are you legitimately worried that these rumors will stop the final match, or do you trust in Super Cena's history of recovery? Let me know your predictions, your comments for Saturday night's main event. We are several hours away. We will be going and giving you videos multiple days, every day, every single way. Videos around the clock. I will never stop because it's all about the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers. Whether Cena shows up or not, make sure you hit that bell, subscribe button, ring the bell, and become a channel member today. Because as you know, on this show, if it weren't for you, there certainly would be no show and view. All of you guys are the foundation. All of you guys make this what it is. You guys are the heartbeat. You guys are the pulse of show and view entertainment. That is why I always say it is prolific, consistent, and dedicated. And I will always come walking that line for each and every, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'll either end up looking really good or really bad. But the fact of the matter is, the bottom line, as Stone Cold would say, at the end of the day, if you think John Cena is not going to show up, if you think John Cena is not going to be there, if you think for one single solitary second that John Cena is not going to have his time, if he's going to have his own time ruined, it's going to take a whole hell of a lot more than that to keep John Cena down. Ladies and gentlemen, your thoughts, your comments, your opinions. Sean's View Entertainment gives you the hottest, the latest, the greatest, the most in-depth, the most exclusive, the most detailed. Plenty more to come with blockbuster stories every day, multiple times a day. I will never stop because this is the show with the flow. Later.